I get a lot of emails and also online in the e-groups and that. People often say, well, they haven't had any experiences, or they try to summon a demon and they feel the demon's ignoring them, or the demon won't show up, nothing happens. It's a very, very important to meditate. Power meditation is the foundation of spiritual Satanism. And power meditation opens your mind so that, they say, you only use 10% or less of your brain. Well, power meditation opens your mind so you can use a lot more of your brain. The potential, the human potential is unlimited. We have the gifts of the gods. They've been sealed up in us, but it's up to us. Okay, it was unfortunate that happened. Satan never intended for these gifts to be sealed in us, but the enemy, who sees us as a threat, sealed our chakras and cut us off from spirituality. But it's important to do power meditation and reverse that, so that the human potential, it's unbelievable. There's things, the longer you're in Satanism, the more you learn and the more you do, the more you can do. There's things that I've been very surprised at that I never even knew that I was capable of. Power meditation, it takes, everybody comes into this world, where most of us have been reincarnated, and our abilities are often dependent on our past lives. Like if you were in your past life and that, and you opened your chakras, you opened your third eye. That's why a lot of people, even just, those who are without, out there on the street and that, can have psychic experiences. They may not understand them, but they open their third eye in their past life. Like my grandmother, she would have all kinds of visions. But she was a Christian. She was deluded, which is really sad, because she certainly wasn't a Christian at heart. Talking about my other grandmother. My other grandmother was very Christian, but anyway, she was a loss. But this grandmother that could see things and have these visions, she woke up at night, it was maybe 3 o'clock in the morning or something, in the dark. And she saw a man standing at the end of her bed, and she recognized this man. And the next day, she looked in the paper, and he died. And she didn't understand a lot of this. And there's a lot of people out there who don't understand the psychic impressions that they get, or visions or whatever, and it's really too bad. We've been cut off. But it's all dependent on what you did in your past life, where your soul is at. Because your soul, there's certain things that you're going to carry with your soul throughout, all eternity, as long as your soul lasts. And they all say that soul is eternal. Well, there's things we're finding out now that, it can be dissipated. The soul can be dissipated, but I'm not going there in this sermon. People who have trouble seeing demons and that, all it means is basically that they're not as open as some of us are. Like some of us who have been with Satan for centuries, or other people who maybe got involved in spirituality at some point. Not necessarily satanic, but some people who did yoga, or lived in different parts of the world, where they did meditation, like Buddhism or something. Their mind is going to be a little bit more open and be able to see demons. But this doesn't mean that people who can't see or sense demons, like they're at a loss or anything. They just need to do more meditation. Meditation does so much for us, when we're on a regular program. And it's important to do it every day because it builds. Your aura builds, your power builds. There's times, like within, sports or weightlifting, you may just, hit a sticking point where you're not making any more progress. And then it's time to change your meditation, maybe try a different method or something. And Joy of Satan Ministries, you have lots of different meditations for all different levels, beginners, intermediate, advanced. And we're going to keep, progressing with this and adding more as time goes on. But it's important to meditate. There's different problems like severe drug addiction, this type of thing that is caused by imbalances in the soul, holes in the aura, and all kinds of different things. And meditation can heal that. Meditation can take care of these cravings or certain behavior or something that's troublesome, to the person, like compulsive disorders, whatever. Meditation can smooth all that out, void meditation or whatever. You learn to still your mind, turn your mind off, you're having bad thoughts, where your mind's like controlling you instead of you controlling your mind, which is the case with a lot of people. Meditation is where we advance, where Satanism, true Satanism, is a religion of the mind. and the soul, and through our mind and awareness. I mean, when you're aware of something, that's when it exists for you. Your chakras, you look at your chakras and, you can feel them. And the more awareness of the feeling, the awareness of your aura, the awareness of your spirit, that's what brings it to life. Is consciousness and awareness, because lack of consciousness is nothingness. I mean, if you're true nothingness, you would never be able to remember. I mean, it's not like a dark void or something. It's just nothingness. You sleep and you don't remember when you dream or something. It's sort of like nothingness. But power meditation is very important. And for those of you who, feel, oh, you've never met Satan. Satan does not just appear to just everybody. Some people think, well, here I am. I'm a dedicated Satanist now. Where's Satan? Satan, he appears to people who he chooses to appear to, for one thing. But demons, now, you summon demons. Satan's very busy, okay? He's very, very important. And a lot of people don't realize how important he is. I mean, he's our creator. If the truth are known, a lot of people, you do the necessary research. Satan is our creator, our creator God. He's very, very, very powerful. He's the God of hell, so to speak, what they call hell. And, he doesn't just, hey, I want to see Satan, you want to show up tonight or something. I mean, that's disrespectful, and people shouldn't be saying things like that or expecting things like that. But summoning demons, there's so many demons, and the demons aren't hard to, they'll appear to you if you're sincere and you want some help in that. But the most important thing is that you have an open mind, psychically open. You have to be psychically open enough to sense them, and, that you're sincere in that. And sometimes it takes several times. You might have to do a ritual several times or whatever, before the demon or demoness will appear to you. But they're usually pretty friendly as long as you're really, really sincere and dedicated. And I don't recommend anyone summoning demons who isn't dedicated. That's another thing. One of the most important satanic sacrament is that of dedicating your soul to Satan. And a lot of people, they don't understand why. Well, why do we dedicate our souls to Satan? One of the most important things, when we dedicate our soul to Satan, Satan looks out for us, provided that we're very honest with him, okay, and that we're dedicated to him. He does not expect us to change ourselves. I mean, there's certain things where they might, demons or something might show you where you're going that could cause you serious problems later on down the road if you don't change this now, type of thing. But Satan doesn't, he accepts us as we are. He doesn't expect us to change ourselves, our personalities or anything. Satan values individuality. But the most important thing is he protects us, because people, I don't know how many times, and I know, people can bullshit and lie all they want, but I don't know how many times I've seen people who are on their own and they get into the power of the mind or Kundalini, they start advancing their soul or whatever, and they get into witchcraft, usually at the Wicca level, and they don't have any protection, okay? Now, you can go for a while like that, and do this or that, but when you start getting really powerful, you're going to stand out like a beacon on the astral. And that's when the enemy, okay, there's enemies out there, and, people, this all is one crap. That is the most ludicrous garbage that I've ever heard. Anybody that is spiritually aware knows the all is not one. And there are entities out there who are seriously determined to stop humanity from obtaining any spiritual power. And they will work to frighten one woman, okay, she did some kind of a witchcraft ritual or whatever, and all her hair fell out. Okay, she was on her own. There is another one that I read a long, long time ago on the internet that just solidly denounced witchcraft, burned all her books, had some horrific experience, and went running back to the Lord. This type of thing. When we're under the protection of Satan and his demons, we have nothing to fear. We can go as far as we want to. Psychically in our power, we can advance our power. You take a lot of people that are on their own that are born with gifts like telekinesis, and there are people that are born with that naturally. Most of them, they don't last very long unless they're under the protection of a higher power. They just don't. I don't know how many times, like I said, I've read accounts of people having horrific experiences or unwanted entities, usually very frightening, that are rituals that something just went terribly, terribly wrong. When we do the dedication, Satan looks out for us, and we're under his protection. Also, he does give us guidance. As to your own life. I mean, like I said, if there's serious mistakes that you're making now or actions that you're doing that could cause you some serious problems down the road, I mean, it's like, you get a warning sign that's blatant. He directs us. And then there's some people, okay, this is due to a lack of knowledge, and I mean, mainly for most of us, we do the dedication and our lives is, unbelievably improve. I know mine did. I couldn't believe it. Satan, he's come to me so many times with gifts for me, and he's come to me on his own, demons, and he's very thoughtful. I see him as a very thoughtful being. I mean, I don't know how many times I was in a pinch or something. I didn't even need to ask him. That's my relationship with him, though. I'm not speaking for anybody else because, I mean, we're all different. But he's helped me out. And I know it was him. I mean, he's come to me, in times when I was upset or something and talked to me. And I didn't see Satan until it was a year after I did my dedication. I didn't see him. It's a whole year. And I never expected to see him. And, I thought, I'll never forget, I was at work one morning. I worked in a health club overnight, and it was a nice job. I was there by myself all night as a tenant. And I felt his love so strongly. And he said to me, come and see me. And I did. I expected to see a large black horned figure with red eyes. And I was so surprised because when I saw him standing in front of me with my third eye, I mean, he was tall and blonde, and he wore a long white robe, and I was like, his eyes looked a little different, than ours. And I was like, I mean, I couldn't believe it because everything that I'd been taught about him, from all these sources, and that it was wrong. And I mean, I never expected Satan to have blonde hair down to his shoulders and wear a long white robe, because they always label him as the Prince of Darkness. And many of the demons are blonde, but that's beside the point. I didn't see him until it was over a year after my dedication. And those of us that work hard for him, okay, that are really, really serious, I'll never forget, I did another dedication. It was in the fall of the year. I dedicated April 30th, several years ago, and in the fall of that year, I did another dedication. I mean, he had blessed me after I did my dedication. I mean, I was very, very deeply touched. I mean, I've never had anyone be that kind to me. And he blessed me with something personal that was so important to me. And I mean, I was touched to tears. I was so impressed with him. And in the fall of that year, I hadn't seen him yet. And I had demons talking to me. These are demons. And I used to think it was him all the time. But it wasn't. It was demons talking to me. And I hadn't even seen any demons yet. I did another ritual where I dedicated everything that I have, my talents, everything that I have, as a human being, into his service. And he sure took me up on it, And he's been supportive of me. I've had a lot of problems, and everybody knows it. I mean, people have been lying about me online, all kinds of stuff, because I came out with some controversial information, and Satan pushed me to do it. But that's beside the point. that the winter